Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. You have the Lovewell Real Estate Team. You have Katie Lovewell, Louise Lovewell, myself, Margaret Hanson, and we also have our wonderful mortgage broker, Bill Jarvis from United Lending Partners, and he's going to let us know what's going on in the market.
Well, pretty boring, same as last time, pretty much. We since I was last with you guys, rates went up a little bit, but now they're coming back down. So we're down probably 6 1/8, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe even by the end of the week we're down to 6. The 10-year Treasury is finally just now went under 4 for the first time in a while. So that's good. We've gotten a little bit of refis going now, so that's kind of new and exciting for us in my office. Um, FHA and VA rates are also down slightly since last time. We're 5.5, 5 5/8, somewhere in there for FHA, which is that's actually down a little bit more than the conventional rates. The other thing we're continuing to see is kind of the alternate document income rates are coming down as well. Historically, those have been probably like a 2% higher than a conventional rate, and now they're less than 1% higher. So if people need to prove their income with bank statements instead of tax returns or W-2s. Those have gotten a big improvement, and we're doing a lot of those loans now, so much more than in the past. So for people who have income that doesn't show great on the tax returns, that is a possibility. So if you have a business with a big cash flow, you probably will qualify for a loan now much easier than just a few years ago. As I said, the 10-year is dropped more than the mortgage rates have, so hopefully we'll get a little more help with the mortgage rates too. But crazy things happening, as everyone knows, with everything in the world. So some of those things could turn us back around to higher rates, but hopefully things stay calm and the rates keep slowly coming down.
And any
So,
effect with maybe the government shutdown or anything like that for rates or people getting vacation?
No, not so far. I mean, I guess if it continues on long enough, I mean, it's expected. I mean, the only thing directly impacting that, some of the reporting isn't happening, which actually might be good. The way it all just gets revised anyway. So I mean, that part of it actually is maybe calming for the markets because there's less information from the government. But the people who work for the federal government, their purchases probably have to be on hold until that people just missed their first paychecks yesterday. So while they're technically furloughed, so if the lender does an employment verification, if they can even get an employment verification, depending on what department they're in, that's it's going to show that they're furloughed and they probably won't be able to get a loan. The vast majority of the government's not being paid right now. I don't think most people think it's going to last too much longer, hopefully. So that's not a big deal. Yeah.
I was watching what he was saying, and then somebody sent me this article. I thought it was pretty good. It said there's a saying, when the rates go up, they take the escalator, but when they come down, they take the stairs.
Yeah, right. It's up like a rocket, down like a feather is another one.
Yeah, it's a slow, it's a slow and bumpy process. And this person pretty much they did like a little chart, and it basically just shows it hovering around a little below 6 to a little to 6 1/4, like
yeah.
And
I think we are headed under 6. So hopefully by our next meeting, my first number will be a 5 point something.
And this is predicting all the way into second quarter of 2026. So this is like really going out till next year. So
yeah. Well, the Fed is expected to cut the rates a few more times. Unfortunately, immediately when they cut the rates the last few times, mortgage rates have actually gone up in the short term. So hopefully that trend doesn't continue, but historically that should help the rates, and I think it has. It just takes a while to come down.
Well, thank you, Bill.
Yes,
you
thank
so
you,
Thanks
much.
for
Bill.
having me.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a wonderful rest of the
bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and now we are going to present our monthly market update. And so I'm going to share the information put out by our local real estate association, Bay East. And we're going to start in the southern part of Alameda County in Fremont. Oh, they did Livermore. But I want to see here, just a page in case you want to see. This is where you go to and you can pick a city. So we don't present all the cities in Alameda County, but you can see there's also Contra Costa as well. And you can click on these cities and pull up this information. All right, but this time we will start with Fremont. So interestingly enough, the trend we do see in quite a few cities, at least in, I would say like middle to southern half of Alameda County, is that prices have gone down. Now, again, these prices are basically at the end of September, beginning of October, which means most of these homes or these prices are reflecting homes that went pending in August or maybe beginning of September. So just keep bearing that in mind. You know, this information is already changing all the time, but for this at the end of September, this is where things were. So again, median price very low compared to what it was in July. So almost a over $200,000 drop. So big change. Now again, interest rates did drop in mid-September, so we could expect to see maybe some shift back upwards before the end of the year. Hayward also quite a downward trend. In fact, lower than it has been all for the past year. Median sales price is $1.6 million, which again, when you look historically, well, that's the average. Okay, median's in this column. Again, sorry, I said $1.6 million. That was the average sales price. The median sales price is $855, which again, over the past year is the lowest it has been. Moving on to San Leandro, also very similar with prices down for September. Now again, pendings are up. And actually in San Leandro, they are 53, which is the highest they've been all year. So it's been definitely like a year of like ups and downs, which we don't typically see. It's usually more seasonal trends. We see like an increase in the spring, like a slowdown in the summer, and a little uptick in the fall, and then kind of a slowdown again as November and December hit. So for there to be so much up and down is definitely not normal, at least historically. All right. Our next city is Castro Valley, which not as big of a drop, but kind of following some of the cities nearby of prices coming down at the end of September. Alameda, though, we see prices doing the opposite. It seems like their low point was the end of August, and they're shifting upwards now. And let's move on to the next city. Oakland, again, similar thing, not as haven't reached that high that it did in February and March, and maybe it will continue going up because also the pendings are the highest they've been all year. So it may continue to go up at least for the next month. And then we'll see what happens November, December. Always interesting time of year. Okay. And Berkeley, the actives have gone back up. So even though we do see prices shifting up like Alameda and Oakland, it's possible with this big increase in inventory that could kind of flatten, but we'll see. Because again, interest rates could maybe, get more buyers that have been on the sidelines to keep going out there and writing offers and bidding on homes. All right. Lafayette, a very small uptick, but definitely, it seems like their big downturn was also in August and they're kind of trending back up. And then we move over to Pleasanton, which again, similar to Hayward, like the median sales price is the lowest it's been over the past year. So again, more opportunities for buyers and definitely less competition, and sellers just being aware that, if they sold in February, March of this year, very different price than if they're trying to sell right now. Livermore also very similar Pleasanton and Hayward with lowest median sales price it's been all year. So interesting data. Anything you would like to add, ladies?
All I can say is our client that's in escrow, her interest right now, I think that she's going to lock in is like right around 6. So 6 seems to be maybe the magic number. What do you think, Maggie and Katie? It's like,
Yeah, I keep saying that I think that 6 is a great interest rate. So I hope that kind of once we see those numbers transform after seeing October's numbers with the rate drop, maybe some of these cities will be trending upward. I think Katie gave a good explanation there, but I mean, we are seeing this for sure play itself out in our listings. We've had open houses that are unusually slow. It just seems like a lot of buyers are waiting. There's not as much activity. And that's really kind of bringing prices down and making homes sit a lot longer than we expected.
For
Yeah,
sure. For
I
sure.
agree. I mean, I think they're worried about the economy. They're just kind of holding back. They're just worried, I think, you know, but I think the interest rate around 6 is kind of like that pivotal thing that, could do it. So I'd say that's it, guys. And think in a couple of weeks it's going to be Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I know.
All right. Thank you,
Think that's
everyone.
all for us. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.